What's up to Lion Talk Live? We love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Do Crew. This is Ball Hawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
All right, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in the YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us about a minute or two early on Lions Talk Live Morning Show Edition. Hey, I've got to get up to Grand Haven a little bit later today, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it in a full hour. So I've got a couple work things up there right before 10 o'clock, so I got to hit the road a little early. All right, so we're going to get into this, and as you can see from the thumbnail, we've got a bit of a topic for you all today. It's I want to thank my brother Tim for sending this over to me yesterday. I didn't want to do like a breaking news or anything like that on it. Figured I'd just save it for the morning show. But what we are getting is more and more reports out of New York. And then Woodward Sports kind of cooperated and did a little bit of a story on it as well. That, hey, there is some real potential that the New York Football Giants may want to acquire Hendon Hooker. So I don't know the particular person who led the charge with this. David Boyart, I had to look him up, and he's some sort of reporter / analyst in the greater New York area. He does a lot of politics stuff. He does sports stuff as well. I've never heard of the guy, but it's not really an area I check on or report on a lot, so that's probably why I didn't know. But then he had Woodward Sports on it, so I did a little Scooby-Dooing overnight on this, and we've got some stuff to digest with this. As we talked about throughout the week, I really think today's game, when we talked about it yesterday, we talked about it a couple days ago, today's game from the Detroit Lions standpoint, yes, you've got guys battling for roster spots. MCDC himself even comes out and says, hey, we've got 4, 5, 6 spots still available for guys to win. So they're going to be analyzing the 30 bodies they're going to be throwing on the field. But then there's also the other part that they could, as we've mentioned this week on Lions Talk Live, could be auditioning some of these guys for potential trades, trying to set them up to look as good as possible. So maybe they can get a 5th round pick, a 6th round pick, a 7th round pick for whoever they're going to move on from. So we'll get into this all during the main topic of the day, but let's get this show going. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so, making that push for 7,500 subs. We're about 90 away, so if you can help out with that, that'd be great. Also, if you're enjoying the content of the channel and everything we do here at Lions Talk, hit this, the like button, the thumbs up button, whatever you want to call it button. We try to get every episode between 200 to 300 or more thumbs up or likes. Last but not least, if you enjoy reading anything, if you enjoy reading historic fiction or whatever, consider, if you have any time or desire, consider going to Amazon.com and ordering Kajora book. It's a historical fictional book set in Japan. It has a lot to do with Japanese culture, history, mythology, and Native American culture. So go ahead and check it out. Let me know your thoughts. And if you enjoyed the book, pretty please, with sugar on top, consider leaving a ranking or a review on it. All right, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get over to our first segment of the day, and that is 5 Headlines Now. All right, we got some headlines for you, too, I think. 5 headlines now. Let's go ahead and get them going. Peter Schrager, you know him from the NFL Network, names his top 10 NFL breakout players for 2024. And yes, there is a Detroit Lion on it. Did you know that on Schrager's top 10, he's got Brian Branch as number 5, the number 5 breakout candidate. He's got number 1, Jalen Daniels from the Washington Commanders. Number 2, Kenneth Walker III, running back from, you guys probably all know him from Michigan State, from the Seahawks. from the Arizona Cardinals, a tight end Trey McBride, linebacker Giant Dubay, but I'm probably killing it. Sorry, guys. Linebacker number 4, and then Brian Branch number 5. I won't go through the rest of them, but Brian Branch, I think we all get it. This kid could be something, especially set up to where he's going to play some cornerback, some safety. Heck, I think he's going to play some linebacker, to be flat out honest. I think they're going to use him all over the field, almost like a Jalen Ramsey was with the Los Angeles Rams. They created the star position for him where he was basically positional-less all over the field. They're going to try to match him up to where they could blitz him, put him in coverage, drop him, here, there, wherever. I really think that's going to be Brian Branch's role, and I do think he's going to have a phenomenal season for the Detroit Lions. All right, Detroit Lions rookie offensive lineman Giovanni, or he does prefer Gio Manu, in running back Stoney Baki, talked to reporters, SI.com. In fact, we're going to play a little segment for you. If I can figure out where I put it. There we go. So let me pull it on up and see if I can get this thing on the screen without messing it up too much. So, hey, don't hate me if I do mess it up here. All right, nope, that's not it. All right, there we go. Here we go. All right, here we go. We're going to play this.
He's great, man. He's really taken me under his wing. If I had to pick a vet that's really, gave me a lot of advice, I would say it's probably, him and Decker. Obviously 2 tackles. Panay, him being Polynesian, me being Polynesian, we clicked instantly. He's been great. It still blows my mind that he's 23 and I'm 20.
Polyprats wore many hats. They can.
All right, well, I guess we ran a commercial there, so we'll go ahead and take that one off. But basically, both guys talking about their rookie campaign, how it's going, the guys that are mentoring them. By the way, Sion Vaki has some great hair, by the way. I think he should get an endorsement deal from, Head and Shoulders or somebody like that. All right, moving on to the next one. Detroit Lions Lions coach on massive Alabama prep product. When it's good, it's good. That's from Alabama.com, by the way. In case you were wondering who he's referring to, that is going to be Broderick Martin. So he does go on MCDC during a presser this week, talks a lot about Broderick Martin's progression, talks about the strengths of the rookie, what he's been able to do, how he's improved from a year ago, and the fact that MCDC does go on for a while talking about his emergence. I think it's a real strong tell that Broderick Martin is going to make some impact on the season this year. He is going to be a part of that key rotation on the defensive line. The defensive line has received a ton of hype this offseason. Maybe not as much as Jamison Williams, but it's up there. And I also think, as we've been talking about on the morning show for a while, I think you get past today's game, you're going to see a lot of teams try to acquire the guys that we're going to move on from. They're that solid, that good. Doesn't mean it's going to be a first-round pick or anything, but I do think you're going to see a lot of guys acquired by other teams that we move on from. Broderick Martin, he's not moving anywhere. He's not going anywhere, but I do think he's going to make a strong impact on the season. So if you want a little bit, go ahead and check out that on AI.com. All right, Lions release, probably not a big news here, but definitely news. Lions release linebacker Malik Jefferson from injured reserve. Detroit Free Press, Dave Burkett's on top of this one. Everybody came out and started writing about this yesterday. The Lions, we all know, we've been talking, wondering why they've been acquiring linebackers at a geometric rate in the last month. A lot of them just can't stay healthy. The other part is they're looking to fill some sort of specific role on this team. Jefferson played well, I thought, here, but not well enough. Obviously injured, too. It was time to move on from him. All right, and then, this is from Sports Grid. Jordan Love versus Jared Goff. NFC North passing TD showdown. Who's going to win? Who's going to throw more touchdown passes, etc.? Who's going to lead it? They both debate it and go into it. Tell you what, let's pull it up and share it with you guys.
In that situation, and I think Jared Goff benefits from the running backs that he's got in his room there. Last, Jordan Love will have the most passing touchdowns in the NFC North. Obviously, the competition here a little bit different. Darnold, McCarthy. We're talking about Jared Goff and Caleb Williams. So Goff certainly one that can contend for this. But what do you think? Jordan Love, most TDs in the North?
Goff, love. Selling. I'm going to sell everybody today. I'm sell. Jared Goff has the most touchdowns in the NFC North.
All right, I'm going to buy it. I'll just go the other way for fun. I think it will be close, but I think Jordan Love is going to throw the ball more in that situation. And I think Jared Goff benefits from the running backs that he's got.
All right, so sorry, trying to incorporate a little bit more video into the morning show for you guys. No, I'm not always the greatest at getting those things queued up for you, but at least hopefully you guys enjoy it and like it. All right, so with the 5 headlines out of the way, let's go ahead and get over to the main topic of the day, which I think we're going to have a little fun with. So let's dive into it. All right, so let's Scooby-Doo this as Lions fans. Hendon Hooker, I think we all see his potential. I think we all like what we've seen out of him and out of his rise from week 1 to week 2. And there's been a noticeable one. All the hype, all the physical traits he has. He's got the arm strength. He's got, the big body. He can scramble. He's got all that. And he's got a very friendly team contract tied to him for the next few years. As you see from the thumbnail, apparently the New York Giants are considering going for him. I would say this. If I'm the Giants, it does sound like the vast majority of their fan base, maybe even their front office, are no longer enshrined or entrenched or whatever you want to say in love. How about that with their guy, Danielle Jones? He's got a big contract. Unfortunately, he just signed it a little over a year ago. So how are you going to try to move on from him? If you were to move on from him, you probably have to bring in a young quarterback on a less costly contract to try to offset Danielle Jones's contract, at least for the foreseeable future. Giants, I guess you'd have to ask yourself, do you really see yourself in contention this year? If you don't, bringing in a young rookie quarterback, to me, would make sense. If you're not going to make the playoffs, why not start investing into your future? Do I think the Detroit Lions are ultimately going to make this move? I don't. It doesn't make sense to me unless you're going to go ahead and give the Detroit Lions just something, a ton that nobody could say no to. You're going to give them like 59 first-round draft picks or something like that, and that's a joke, obviously. But it would have to be an offer you can't refuse, right, if you're Brad Holmes. Now, what we can also say, though, reviewing Brad Holmes in his time in Detroit, is he's always moving pieces on the board. He's always moving guys in position to be either acquired or to be sent somewhere else. He's trying to always help the now and the future. Could you be that if the Detroit Lions were going to move on from Hendon Hooker, would they already have something in place with a veteran quarterback to say, hey, we'll go ahead and bring you in. You'll be our number 2 this year, whatever the case may be. Hooker will get, realistically, I think you'd get maybe like a second or maybe a second, a third, maybe a second, a fifth. I don't know, something like that for him. Maybe even a player thrown in. If I'm the Detroit Lions, so I'd have to say this. Why would you want to move on from Hendon Hooker? He doesn't cost much. He's young. Yes, he does need to develop, but there would have to be a reason to clearly move on. And draft picks alone, and for a team that's trying to make a push for the Super Bowl, I'm not really sure if that'd be enough, unless it's, again, just an offer you can't refuse. That's where I guess myself, and I would be hesitant to move on from him because I see his upside potential being so high. Now, I know some people are going to say, hey, Goff's whatever he is now, 30 years old, Hooker's 25, 26, something like that. This is true, but he's also a 25, 26-year-old who hasn't gone through the wear and physical beatdowns that most NFL players have. Quarterbacks, as we all know, can play until they're 40 or even mid-40s nowadays. So from that standpoint, could you still get another decade or more out of Hendon Hooker? I think so. Could you be taking the Green Bay Packers approach with Hendon Hooker and saying, hey, we don't need you to be a player here right now, maybe 5-6 years from now when you're on your second contract, you've matured into an NFL quarterback. At that point, we can go ahead and get you on, maybe as the starting quarterback. If maybe Jared Goff 5-6 years from now is retired, moved on, or whatever it may be. All right, let's go ahead and see what you guys have to see on this. But I think you could Scooby-Doo this a lot of different ways. Yes, there could be some advantages for the Detroit Lions to potentially trade Hendon Hooker. Yes, I could get, if I'm the New York Giants, wanting to acquire a young replacement for Danielle Jones and hopefully be the heir apparent to our franchise, the future franchise quarterback for a decade or more. But let's see what you guys are going to have to say on it, because I think this one could go 20 different ways, to be honest. I could see the rights, the wrongs, the indifference with it all. So let's get to you guys, see what you have to say. All right, scrolling to the top here. Hold on. See, there's a lot of comments this morning. So give me a second. I'm getting to the top as fast as I can here. All right, JDC, good morning, all. Good morning to you, too. Hopefully you're having a good one. Let's see. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Ain't no stopping us now. I see Super Bowl. Woo! And good morning to you, too. All right. Man, we're getting a little bit of lag here. What's going on here? All right. Let's see. Clark, a hooker in New York sounds about right. I agree with that. Yeah, it does seem like an ideal spot for Hendon Hooker, especially when you look at some of their younger talent, some of the strengths of the team. If Hooker went there, I think it wouldn't be a bad spot. But again, I wouldn't be in a hurry if I'm the Detroit Lions to move on from him. Let's see, Lions Fanatic Bird Time. Good morning, Dan and the Duke Crew. 15 days away. Woo! Yes, it is, sir. And just for you, my friend. Yeah, 15 days away from, hey, the games that matter. And yes, just so you guys know, the Sarge and I usually do a preview show, I guess you could say, every year. We do it from a friend of ours store. We are going to set that up and do that maybe in the next week or two, but definitely before the start of the regular season. So we'll announce that if anybody wants to stop on by. I know some of you guys have turned up in the past to the preview show, so we'll let you guys know and get you full details. All right, both 2 first rounders might do it. It might, yeah. I think if New York offers us 2 first rounders for Hendon Hooker, no offense to Hendon Hooker, he's probably on a flight out of here. See, Big Eddie, good morning, Duke Crew. I read some stories on this yesterday. They said the team really liked what they watched Hendon do in the joint practices. You know, that's a good point. We did have the joint practices with him, so yeah, they would have got direct eyes on him. If New York trades for him, what would we get? That's the big question. If this were to happen, if the Lions did move on from him, which again, I don't think it's going to happen, but I also get, hey, you got a bunch of New York reporters, outlets saying they would like to acquire him. You have Woodward Sports, kind of fed off that and Reddit. So could it happen? Sure, it could happen. But what would we get in return? I think the most you would get is a second rounder and then maybe other considerations. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they give you a first. I don't see it that way. I see a second and other stuff, but who knows, man? You get somebody where they have to buy something, where they're forced into a situation, maybe you get more. John, we better have another backup quarterback on our radar to check out before they do that. Yeah, my guess is, just trying to think forward, if I'm Brad Holmes, and he seems to be able to process a lot of different information, definitely jump on things ahead of time. If he's going to pull this trigger, my guess is, John, he's already had conversations with 1 or 2 other free agent backup quarterbacks that are on the market that, hey, don't you have to worry about competing with him. We're going to ship him out of here. We need you to sign here. They've already got that deal. My guess would be in play. All right, John, good morning. All hope is well with everybody. Same to you. Even Broski, there you go. Let's get this done. We'll see what shakes out. Robert, Coach, do you think that is a good idea to trade Hooker? What could he fetch? I wouldn't do it, but they're not asking me. It would be a good idea if whatever they're going to give us is just a ton in return. I know some people are going to say, another receiver or maybe a defensive end or whatever, draft picks. At some point, everybody's got a price tag. And as a GM, here's what I can tell you in my time there. You got to remove emotions. There's going to be emotions for Hendon Hooker because I think everybody likes his story. I think they like him. He seems to be a good dude. He seems to be a good, player as well. So remove all that. What's his value? And that's only you as a GM can determine. Same as a coach. What's that particular entity's value? If somebody's going to give you 2 or 3 times whatever you consider that value to be, at some point you've got to think about the now and the future for the franchise. So we'll see what shakes. All right, Stephanie, good morning, boys. Brand is always on the clock. I think the next 3 days will be busy ones for him. I would agree with that, 100%. Yeah, I think we're going to see some Lions transactions probably starting Sunday, maybe even Monday. See, Robert, could we draft the Manning kid in 2 years? We could. We could go ahead and do that for sure if we have the ability. See, Jess, good morning, all. This makes sense to me. Hooker is 26. Goff is 29. Jared just got paid. I'd trade Hooker to a QB-needy team. There is that aspect, too. I mean, I guess if you're going to have Hooker, we know Goff's here for 4 more years at least. So let's just Scooby-Doo this. Let's say, hey, what's Hooker going to cost in 4 years? Are we even going to be able to keep him? When is his trade value going to be the highest? Is it going to be now, a year from now or whatever? There's a lot of moving parts to this, and I don't think there's a right answer or wrong answer, just whatever is the answer the Lions decide to go with. Robert, he could be the hooker of destiny. Yes, he could be, and especially in New York. Hetman, good morning, Dan and the Motley Dew crew. Back at you. Still love the thumbnail. Bo, the Giants need to make an offer we can't refuse. I agree with that. Let's see what we can do there. See, Torrey Green's Sanitations, what could the Giants give us in return? That is the $1 million question, isn't it? Or are we just considering draft picks? I would really have to look at the Giants roster to see if there's a receiver or anything like that there. I want to say there is a receiver on the Giants roster. I can't think of him. Speedy guy, an ex-receiver. I want to say he's like 6'3", that the word is he might get cut, but I can't remember his name offhand. A draft pick that just really hasn't panned out. But if he hasn't panned out there, is he going to really pan out here? If I'm Brad Holmes, I'm probably more leaning towards draft picks so I can trust our scouting department, our reviews and revisions, to go out and use those in a way that we think will best benefit the team. All right, Matthew, greetings and salutations. Good morning, everyone. Superdome, Super Bowl. Woo, woo, woo. And just for you, my friend, let's give you Yep, and I'm going to work on updating some of those for the start of the season, just to get some new effects on the screen. All right, Matthew, good morning. Burger time, 100%. Hetman, I just don't see us trading him unless it's another steal trade like Stafford. Yeah, something like that. It's got to make sense clearly for the Lions in order for us to do it. Otherwise, I don't think we are going to do it. France, good day to everyone. Makes a lot of sense trading Hooker. I like the kid, but he's never beating out Goff. I would think, why not trade Hooker and sign Tannehill to back up Goff? That's probably where a lot of people would go with it if the Lions do trade. Like I was talking about earlier, I think they're going to go ahead and try to acquire a veteran quarterback. And we've been talking for about a month now. This weekend is the weekend where if a starting quarterback doesn't go down, that's where I think the pressure really goes on some of the better available free agent backup quarterbacks, or even some of the guys who are going to get cut from teams. I think that's where they start looking to sign with the team, because they know at that point, they got to get on a roster sooner versus later. Matthew, please say it ain't so, Joe. There you go. Hey, Phil, good morning. Good morning to you too, Phil. And just so you guys know, a number of you guys have reached out in the last week or so about adding moderators to the channel to try to police the comment section while I can't get through it. I did add a few, Micro Mike, Kurt Steele, Avery from Spirit of Detroit podcast, Phil. There's a couple of you guys. So I think we added about 8 of them. That way nobody has to be here all the time. But if they start seeing the comment section get crazy from someone, they can do something about it before I get to it. So thanks, Phil. All right, Robert, remember Dew Crew, Coach Dan was spotted drinking Coke during a live broadcast. Dan, we need to talk. Yeah, didn't have any Mountain Dew last week, so hey, had to make do with what we had. Phil, Jen forgot to buy the dew for the fridge. There you go. I'll put the blame on her. Trey, what's good, everyone? Question mark. Whatever Holmes chooses to do, I support. That man has only done right by us. Yeah, he's done a pretty dang good job. Doesn't mean he's been right on everything, but pretty dang near. Bowl a little Coke now and then never hurts. No, I don't mind Coca-Cola. I do. Diet Coke, I'm not as big a fan of. Let's see, Robert, we all love Sudfeld. Yes, there is a huge fan base within the Detroit Lions that love Nate Sudfeld. Robert, where is Hatman? He's in the chat, so he's already been on. Phil, if Dan and Brad trust him, so do I. I'll go with that. John, what do you got? Do you really think that's going to happen? I don't, but it's a business decision one way or the other. If somebody does call you, and I'm 100% sure, 1,000% sure, 100,000% sure, teams have called Detroit Lions about Hendon Hooker in the last year. Now, have they called enough and offered enough to make it a legitimate conversation? That's where I'd probably say no, or at least I'm not anticipating. So everybody's got a price at some point. The Lions have a price with every player. It's just somebody's got to be willing to pay it. Robert, eyes, all right. Bo, if the pot is so sweet, you can't walk away. Why not? All right. Yeah, that's the thing. If they offer enough, you'll consider that offer. See, Papa, good morning to you all. We could maybe add a good receiver with this trade if that happens. No, I don't think they're giving up like their first rounder that they got this year, Neighbors or anything like that, but they might have some other receivers that would be enticing to the Lions. Phil, is Hooker being featured for the Steelers to the Steelers tonight? I don't think to the Steelers, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's 100% sure there will be teams with scouting departments watching every game from this weekend because they know these are the guys most likely to hit free agency when they get cut. So they're all going to be out there giving their grades, etc. on them. So there is a lot of reason to watch these games from an NFL standpoint. There might not be star power out there. Nobody, I would think, is going to be out there who's going to be relied upon for the regular season for any team. It's going to be the guys battling for spots. You will have some guys like Hooker that are out there, and he is going to start tonight just for an opportunity to develop them. Like Manu's going to be out there, I'm sure, et cetera, et cetera. But could it be that a team is going to watch Hendon Hooker and say, yeah, this is the guy we need to go get or try to make a trade for? That is also true. See, Phil Noel, 101, the first round pick or the Giants can kick rocks. There you go. And, man, could we get a first rounder? I don't know, but it'd be awesome if we did. Buddy, good morning, everyone. Back at you. JDC, congrats, Phil. You got Hollow Blue Wrench. There you go. You got the Wrench of Destiny. There you go. Antoine Hughes, what do you got? Game day, 100%. Hopefully you're having a great one. And by the way, my mom is a Hughes. I wonder if there's any relation. Could be, man. Could be. If you're from the greater Allen County area. See, Robert, how about a second rounder and a receiver? Now that could happen, but again, you got to see what they offer. 101, matter of fact, first and a third. Let's make that happen. Let's make it. How about 3 first? Now that would do it to me. Bo, today it's a kick butt or get cut for a bunch of guys. Yeah, that's the down part to today. You know that come the end of tonight, man, there's a lot of guys that are going to be unemployed by Tuesday. And, some of them are already starting to get cut. I'm thankful that there are teams that cut guys early because they know that gives that guy a better chance to sign somewhere else. But, man, Tuesday, it's going to be a flood of people all hitting the wire at the same time. All right, see, Courtney, trade Hendon Hooker with the Raiders, and we want Max Crosby to come home. Hutch and Crosby on opposite side. Ouch. I would take that if it happens. We'll see what shakes. Phil, thanks. Just want to help settle things down a bit if needed. Yes, and thank you for that. JDC, thumbing up. Quitting. Great salutations, y'all. I think it would be a good move to pull that trigger if Giants want him, but I don't know if we'll do it. Yeah, if they want him, and again, if they make an offer that makes sense for us. Robert, oh my, there you go. Matthew, who would we get that can play as well as Hooker at the same price? Are we looking at Heineke? It could be. I don't think he's going to be in Atlanta come Tuesday. So could you add someone like Tyler Heineke? Could you add Tannehill? I know his name's out there. There's probably going to be some good options out there that at least as of today, where Hendon Hooker is as far as NFL development, those guys are going to probably be about equal. Now, they might cost a little bit more, but could you trade Hooker and get more for the future of this franchise? More guys you can bring in at a lower cost. I guess that, to me, that would be the only reason to do it. Bo, thumbs up, everybody. Back at you. 101, Crosby for Hooker. Hex, yes, but I don't think they would go for it. Yeah, I don't think that would happen, but you never know. Maybe they really like Hendon Hooker. See, Hatman, I'm here. Robert Yankee, good morning, my friend. There you go. Voltron Force, good morning. Michael D, greetings, salutations, coach and do crew. Superdome or bust, one pride. Woo, woo. And just for you, my friend, we'll give you a Sheila. There you go. John, I thought Max Crosby played for the Raiders. He does. But, hey, maybe you can make the Raiders talk to the Raiders about a trade. Courtney, they might. I know the Saints are looking to replace Derek Carr. Now, that's another option, too. Let's just say Hendon Hooker goes out there and looks great today. And he looked pretty good, I thought, last week. Could that entice a couple of teams to go after him? To me, that would be the best situation for the Lions if a couple of teams now want him. Because what's that do? It drives the price up to acquire. 101, he does. John, unless maybe it'd be a three-way deal. Yeah, maybe a couple teams could get involved for sure. According, that could be. Robert, no puppies will be hurt in this trade. Let's hope not. Let's keep it puppy-free. 101, three-way deals are banned in NFL, ain't they? I don't think so. It's just they don't happen that often. Not like, baseball or basketball. Hatman, I'm hooked on a feeling. I'm believing that I'm in love with the Lions team. Woo, woo! All of the above and great song reference there. JDC getting real in the D. Go Lions, 100%. 101 laughing. Bo Unkachuka. Robert, well said, Hatman. Steve Rogers, good morning, all. Get those draft picks. I like it. I agreed. Frank the Tank, what up, though? All East Side. Woo, woo. Go Lions, 100%. Courtney, 4 aces and a king. I believe I'll play this hand. Take that hand and go with it. See, John, great one hat man. All right. 101, we need Hooker to kick the stuff out of the Steelers so they can get a king's ransom for him. I love Hooker, but he is a wasted in Detroit. Yeah, and that could be the other part, too, that, what is your long-term plan for him? And maybe there's something we just don't know at this point. Maybe Brad Holmes really is thinking long-term with him. So it's about sign a sound vet QB, and then I'm okay with trading Hooker. And, yeah, I think a lot of people probably would say, hey, we know who's going to come in and back up Goff, and if they've got some legitimate, starting experience or whatever in the NFL, that would probably make it a little bit more palatable for trading Hooker to most Lions fans. See, Miles Martin Green, salutations all. I love the in the den last evening. As for Hooker, I imagine AG drafted, Ben Johnson drafted him with the idea of both potential bucked up, but also potential trade. Ben Johnson likes options. Yes, Ben Johnson does. Yeah, he does. So, not Ben Johnson. Brad Holmes likes options. So I get where you're going with that, man. Buddy, since Hooker knows our playbook, Goff, it could be. We'll see what shakes. John, I can't wait to see the crowd. Yeah, the crowd, I bet you it'll be pretty packed tonight. If not sold out, I bet you it'll be pretty packed tonight. See, Hetman, did you all watch Inside the Den highlighting Goff? Great episode. I watched about half of it before we went on to some other things. So I'll watch the other half later today. Buddy, if Goff goes down, you want Hooker or Suckfield? I think, to be fair, if Goff goes down and Hooker did get traded, you're probably bringing in somebody else to back him up. It wouldn't be Nate Sudfeld. John, I just got done watching it. Hatman, there you go. Courtney, I really think we should just stand pat. And they might, man. And they might. I'm not saying, and again, I'm not here saying we're going to trade them. I'm not doing that. I'm saying you're getting reports out of New York, and then Woodward Sports kind of jumped on it too about is there potential Hendon Hooker could be traded. And that's, who knows, man. I mean, everybody's got a price. Good morning, Dan, the Duke Crew. Woo! Go Lions, back at you. 101, think Hooker was always meant to be flipped in a trade later after being used to pressure Goff into a reasonable signing. That could be. Phil, if you guys would consider keeping your comments to just a few lines, we could get through them faster. 100%. Steph, let's see, Coach Dan, will you host a live watch party up in GR someday? Maybe at a restaurant? I could look into that for sure. I know we've done them before at Main Street Pub here in Greater Kalamazoo. We've done live broadcasts from other locations, but yeah, we could reach out to some places and maybe try to do a game coverage or game cast or whatever up in the GR area for sure. See, Courtney, go Lions, 100%. Buddy, don't send Hooker anywhere. Yeah, they might not. Let's see, Hookadoo, good morning. Berg and John, back at you. Phil, good morning. Steph. Hetman, no work today, Steph. All right. Greetings, salutations, Coach Duke Crew, back at you, Mitch. Hookadoo, mile marker, I didn't see you here in GM. There you go. John, hit that thumbing up. Yes, if you guys could, hit the subscribe and the like button. See, Motown, Lions rule, Bears rule. There you go. Miles Margaret, hey, Hookadoo, there you go. Phil, Packers are cheesy. I concur. Buddy, Phil, you a moderator now? Yes, says Phil. JDC, predicted Detroit Lions, quote, storefront, gonna roll through Ford Field September 8th, 7:20 p.m. Central Standard Time. Flights will be canceled, and there will be a no-fly zone strictly enforced. Let's hope so, my friend. See, JDC, thunder and lightning will be widespread, and numerous twisters are expected. Hunker down and be comfortable position and enjoy the storm. Hey, we're all going to enjoy that game, man, 100%. Stephanie, working now, just not on the road yet. There you go. John, laughing. 101, for God's sake, can we get the Canadian Football League to take the Bears off our hands? Good riddance. Hey, maybe they will transfer. See, Bo, Phil, good job. Woo! There you go. Amy, good morning. Dan, the Duke Crew. I am surprised they are talking about trading Hooker and what we're keeping Sudfeld. yeah, I think though, Amy, if we were to trade Hooker, that would be a strong indication to me that they've already got plans in place to sign another quarterback. Let's see, Burger Time. Good morning, Hookadoo. Miles Marker. Woo! All right, Burger Time. Good morning, Matt Trumps. Woo! There you go. Let's see, JDC. 65,000 fans will be weather the furor at Ford Field. Rams storm chaser Matt Stafford expected to be in the path of Detroit defensive superstorm. Yes, I think, especially now that we know that the starting was at left tackle is going to miss that game. Hey, I didn't think the Rams line was great. I mean, they do have some good pieces on it, but that's going to put some extra burden on that line. Man Bear, good morning. Dan, the Duke Crew, back at you. Hatman, stay safe, Stephanie. Yes, 100% there. Ronald, what do you got? Jalen Hyatt over there. That's Hooker's #1 receiver in college. Hey, that's something I did not even consider. So thank you for that, Turner. Thank you. That's a good point. Very good point. Miles Margaret. Turner, that's interesting. Didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Berg time. What does the wrench mean? Means that Phil is one of the moderators I put in the channel. So there we go. Just try to add it so we can get rid of, if there are any clowns who pop up. And you guys know, if you watch the channel for a while, there are some people that try to hop into the channel and do stuff. They can help police it. Phil Branch, yes, Branch. JDC moderator status. There you go. Let's see, Derek. Good morning, coach and crew. Who or what are the Giants proposing to give for Hooker? I don't think there's been any firm commentary on that, Derek. So it'd be a guessing game. My assumption would be draft picks, but you never know. It could be a player in draft picks or a combination. Who knows? See, Don, definitely don't believe more than smoke and mirrors talk. Yeah, could be 100%. See, Berg time. Thank you, JDC. That's what I thought. Surfer, good morning, coach and everyone. Back at you, Surfer. Hopefully having a good one. Miles Barger, well, looky you, Phil. There you go. Derek, do you think we see Vaki today? That's a good question, because I think you've seen enough out of him this preseason. I wouldn't risk the injury, but maybe you want to keep developing him. I guess that's where if he's out there, you're doing it for developmental reasons. JDC, new sheriff, Phil in town. There you go. Burger time, or excuse me, Don, Lions fanatic. Wrench basically means Phil can time people out or get rid of them. Correct? Let's see. Silver Hooker, question mark. Hope Lions keep him and Houston. Me too, man. I hope they keep them both. Phil laughing. Broski, Phil, congrats on the wrench. Yes. Like I said, made about 8 people. Most of them are content creators, but some of you guys that have like a Lions, or excuse me, not Lions channel, but a YouTube channel, I could make you a moderator in here. So made about 8 people mods that I could find. I can't just type in, for example, I can't just type in Phil. I got to type in your channel name, and if it pops up, then I can make you a moderator. If you don't have a YouTube channel, I can't make you a mod. All right. Burger time. Thought so, Don. Thank you. Yep. 100%. Michael, big hex no for trading our future golden child quarterback. That's just crazy. Yeah. And I don't, like I said at the start, I don't think we're going to do it, but could it happen? Sure. Phil, thumbing up. Turner, what do you got? They flipped Hooker. They lose fans. Don't think it would be smart. Yeah, they might not do it. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the idea, but it doesn't mean it couldn't happen, I guess. JDC, Dre Forge rocks 1,000%. Don, so basically Broski won't be here with the nonsense now. Yeah, and it's not just that situation. It's, you guys have seen it. There's been some people that pop in the channel from time to time. I know you guys have been clamoring for it for a while, so I just had a free half hour or so to look into how to make it happen. Finally got it done yesterday. Don here, yes. Berg time, good. 101, think Hooker will be great NFL starting quarterback, but what the heck are we going to do with him? Oh, we'll have to wait and see. Hookadoo, Broski will be walking on thin ice. There you go. Broski, who's starting for Reader at nose tackle or defensive tackle the first couple weeks? Cruz, yeah. Pico, yeah. It sounds like he would be. He's done a really good job in training camp, etc., holding down that particular spot. So right now, I think he is going to go. I don't think it'll be Broderick Martin over there, just because they play different styles. Phil, just talk Lions, not too much other teams. Yeah, go with that. Bo, Sal, there you go, Sal. Broski. So, Phil, I can't be my normal self. Ooh, there you go. There you go. Phil, sure, just talk Lions. That's also true. D Original, Hooker needs to stay. Yeah, I think he will stay. I don't think they're going to get rid of him. I think it's a report. But again, D, if somebody just offers us a king's ransom for him, then you probably got to look at it. See, Phil, this Bears player we lucked up. Tell us about him, broski. Okay, that we picked up. Yeah. No, but I'm a Bears fan. You know that. Yeah, I think we all know that. Picked up. Yeah, I got you, Phil. It is 4-1. How about a 4-11? They better not trade Hooker. I don't think they're going to, but it is a report that's out there right now. And again, they make an offer you can't refuse. You maybe go with it. Phil, yes, but it's a Lion show. It is a Lion show. JDC, keep Hooker. I concur. Don, Hooker isn't going anywhere. I agree with that. See, 101, Hooker wasted here. We got Goff tried to get a first rounder for him at the least. Yeah, if we can get a first rounder, I'd be pretty happy with that. I'm gonna go into a Bears chat then. Yeah, Phil, be nice. 411 rumors not going anywhere. Yeah, right now that's all I can say. It is it's a rumor. Doesn't mean there's not anything to it. Doesn't mean there is anything to it. Broski, Phil, fake Broski just shows up with that I'm a Bears fan comment. And then one before that, please block him. Yeah, Phil and the other mods can handle that stuff. So like I said, Kurt Steele's in here a lot. He's a mod now too. So the original, they going with Suds. Let's hope not, man. Let's hope not for all of our sanity. Unless that guy just really comes out and does something we haven't seen. Yeah, I'm okay with him just becoming a coach. All right, Don, first rounder for Hooker. Laughing out loud. Stop. Hey, maybe they'll give us 2. JDC, an update just in. There will be a gentle breeze coming in from Chicago on Thursday, November 28th, around 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Nothing more than a micro, mini, tinky, dinky, small piff of wind is expected. I'm down with that. The skillful one. Wow, another clickbait, bro. No, man, it's as you can tell, if you listen for more than 2 seconds, I'm sure Woodward Sports reported it, and so did a number of outlets in New York. So keep that in mind. And I guess if you didn't hear me say it the 4 or 5 different times I mentioned it, that's on you, the skillful one. All right, Hale, what do you got? Hooker isn't wasted. He's learning our system, and he gives us a chance to win if Goff goes down. I'm down. Yeah, I'd say that's about accurate. See, Broski, Phil, no, don't be a fool by that fake Broski account. Ban him. Well, there you go. The original, I would trade only Suds for an extra receiver. Yeah, the problem is with that, I don't know if anybody will trade for Suds. That's it. See, Moonscar, morning all. Good morning, dude, too. Perryman, if we make a deal, they can get Bryce Ford Wilton in the mix. He's got the size. Maybe that's the guy. Like I said, I know there's a guy over there. I just can't remember his name. But, yeah, I did a little bit of Scooby-Dooing on that. See, Andrew, everybody there you go. Pretty pleased with Mountain Dew on top. Michael, yeah, give them Suds. Not our fault. The rest of the league don't know how to draft players. That's one thing. Most teams hit on 45 to 55% of their draft picks. Lions are pretty close to, about 80 to 90% of it. Well, maybe you could say 90%. I can only think of one guy out of all of our draft picks who isn't here anymore. And what's his name? Chase Lucas, the cornerback. Maybe there's somebody else, but that's the only one I can think of. Let's go on. The original, we want to get a Buddha ticket for Sudfield. Yeah, we want to get anything from 100%. Don, man, nobody's trading for Sudfield. Come on, people. Yeah, and I think everybody gets that. Yeah, Don, nobody's expecting that. Sudfield is trash. Yeah, I agree with you there on that skillful one. The 100%. I meant Hooker. Okay. Let's see. Cruz, what do you got? If Hooker shows he's a starting caliber quarterback down the road, they would trade him and allow him to grow. He hasn't shown that yet. Yeah, it could be 100%. Could he be like, oh gosh, what's his name? Who was in New England backing up Tom Brady? Then got traded to the 49ers. Jimmy G. There you go. Jimmy G. It could be that kind of situation. So Hooker, Moodscar, you're usually not on in the weekends. One pride. Yeah, he's usually sleeping on in, it seems like. Jarrett, man, you are you for real? And again, just to repeat, this is a report that's coming out of multiple different outlets in New York. I don't remember the main guy's name or whatever, but oh boy, hold on, I can look it up. Whoever this dude is, David Boyert. So he's a prominent reporter in New York, but he does mostly political and sports stuff. Woodward Sports also was on this story, so I went with it. All right, Leonard, I would entertain a trade if it's for a high caliber player and picks. Me too, man. Everybody's got a price, especially when you're talking about a backup. Yeah, if you can get more stuff that's going to help impact from a starting standpoint or future considerations, that'd probably be the only way I would really want to move on from Hooker. See, Don, Hooker is here, not going anywhere, people, especially not this year at least. I would agree with that. That's if I was a betting person, that's where my bets would be. Phil, Legatron t-shirts. I'm surprised somebody hasn't jumped all over that. Sheila, yeah, John says Sheila. You want a Sheila? All right, I'll give you a Sheila. Why not, man? It's been a minute since we've had one. There you go, Sheila, just for you. Andrew, Hooker's on 12th Street Hooker's on 12th Street now, DC at Massachusetts over 1 a.m. There you go. Send him to Commanders. Man, he'd be in the same situation then. Let's see. Trust Brad, says Phil. JDC Sarge for Coach Dan, sidekick, color commentator. You know, the thing is, Sarge and his wife, they're season ticket holders, so they go to all the home games. So he'd only be around half the time, and so we'll see if maybe on the away game, so he wants to. Non-Legatron needs to hit a few game winners and stop missing extra points before I buy a t-shirt. All right, fair enough. Got to have standards, right? Phil laughing. Dan, I don't see it happening, but just like Stafford, if the money is right, do it. Yeah, and probably not a lot of people saw Stafford's trade happening before it did, but it did happen. See, the Originals, Giants don't have anything but draft picks. That's probably also where I'd be with it. But, again, if you think Hooker's, just to put a math on it, let's say you feel like Hooker on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being high, Hooker's a 7 out of 10. And you feel like you can sign a veteran quarterback who's about ready to be released or is on the market right now, who's, 7 out of 10. And now I can, add these draft picks for Hooker. I guess I'd do it. I just really like Hooker's upside. That's why I'd be hesitant to do it myself. But everybody's got a price. Derek, give me a Shiloh. Woo, Coach. All right, we'll do another one just for you. There you go. You ask, guys, I will do. Monte Carlo, what do you got? I want a first and a conditional pick if he starts 8+ games. I'd go with that. See, Bo. Woo! Ha! There you go, says Bo. Andrew, trade him for DeVito. I like DeVito, but I don't know if I would take him over Hooker. But, everybody's got their own opinions. Danielle Jones might be on the trading block. Yeah, I think he might. He's in trouble, man. He's not doing very well, and that's why I think the New York media is on the thing with Hooker. New York media is on it because they see some potential out of him, where Danielle Jones, let's be honest, I think you're spot on, the original. He's falling out of favor. The skillful ones, why would we help a fellow NFC team? This is no topic. If they're going to offer you enough, you got to worry about you. You're seeing teams even trade in division more and more now, just like the Commanders and Philly did a couple of days ago. I mean, heck, we've made trades with Minnesota a couple times. So I think it's not like it used to be, where now it's just, hey, what's the best deal for my team? It seems to be more the flavor. See, John, think forward first. There you go. Not too much time on something that will not happen. It happens, man. Let's see, 101, only if we can get a first. Otherwise, keep him. The year value might go up. Yeah, if he keeps progressing like you're suggesting, the value could push up more and more. See, Phil, Houston and Hooker for a first and a 4th round pick plus considerations. Man, everybody's just trying to get rid of Houston. It's blasphemy on this show, man. Don, Phil, so a 1st and 4th for 2 backup players. Come on, man. There you go. The skillful ones, by the way, Hendon is a mobile quarterback with an arm with which the NFL is trending. Ain't no way in, we trade. No, I'm with you there. He's got a big arm. He's got mobility. He's got the right personality traits, too. I mean, he's a leader. That's what I like about him. You hear him talk. You listen to him, how he works with people. I like the guy through and through. I think he's given time. The only real knock on him that people have is his age, but he's playing a position that I just don't see being 25 or 26 as being a hindrance to him. He can play another 10, 15 years in this league. So I'm with you there. I really like his upside potential. All right, Broski. Hooker was a 3rd round pick with an injured history. You'd be lucky to get a 5th round pick for him today. Maybe. I would disagree. If he shows well, I think you could end up getting a 2nd round pick or something from in the future. Just because, again, what he has physically to offer, it's pretty rare. It's also say this. If he didn't have that ACL injury, I do think he would have been a 1st round pick. but he did have it. So there's that aspect too. Big Daz, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke crew! Exclamation points. Oh yeah, I would take a couple of high picks and a player that plays now. Yeah, there you go. I think the only way you would do it is if you were going to help the team out now with it. All right, so Villain Squad, we got Slayton. There you go. I like the way you're thinking. 101, we only need a receiver and pass rusher. Yeah, get those two. The original Slayton would be good. That would be real good. Phil, agree, Broski. He is not that good of a fit for our team. I don't know. We'll see what shakes out. We'll see what the coaches do. Jaeger Bomber, no trade. Okay, I'm with you there too. I would rather keep him. Gary, greetings, salutations, Coach and Duke crew. Darius Slayton is making $2.5 million this year in salary and has been mentioned in trade rumors. I was wondering if maybe he would be a part of the package. It could be. I mean, it could be 100%. Let's see, Phil. Camera focusing on your handstand. It happens, man. It happens. Let's see. If the original Tannehill is looking to start, yeah. But again, if there's no starting spot available after this week, he's running out of options, like a lot of the backups who are still out there. Craig Reynolds is a player that might get traded realistically. Would you trade for him, though? That's my thing, Don, because if he's not going to make it here, he's going to be a free agent. He's going to be a vested free agent, so he can just go out and sign with whoever. But I guess if you don't think he won't sign with you, maybe you do trade for him. See, Doug, when we drafted Hooker, we didn't have a QB who led us to the NFC Championship. Now we do. We didn't know if Goff would sign a reasonable contract. A New York second pick could be a pretty high second pick. Yeah, that is true. If we were to get their second round pick, it would more than likely be higher on the list. See, Mojo, we're not trade him, have much investment in him. I don't think we're going to trade a Mojo. But again, it's a report out in New York, and there are some other outlets in the greater Metro Detroit area mentioning it as well. Lions fan, hi Dan, trading Hooker is a bad idea. Let's develop him. God forbid he won't have it step in for Goff, but he has far greater upside than Sudfeld. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I don't want to trade him. But again, if somebody makes that offer, you got to consider it, I guess. Let's see. Kurt Steele, what up, though, Duke Crew? What up to you, too, Man of Steel? Hopefully you're having a great day, my friend. See, JDC Hooker will be Hooker is being vested as a Lion. I'm thinking in the slowly, surely QB ways of Green Bay. That's where I like Hendon Hooker as well, JDC. I think maybe if this franchise really wants to keep rising, not just have a 2-3 year window, they're going to keep trying to develop players like we're seeing at multiple spots, not just quarterback, but all across the board. With that being also said, I like the idea of always bringing in a younger quarterback and developing them for the future, like you've seen the Packers do for 4 decades now. See, 101, first keep him, and then they can kick rocks. Yeah, I'm down with that. First rounder, or they can kick rocks. Buddy, Hendon is not going anywhere. I concur with that. I agree. See, Hookadoo, morning, Kurt. Michael, there's been backups on teams that have been backups for 8 to 10 years and don't hear them complaining about playing there in here. Yeah, you want a great job. Be a backup quarterback, holding a clipboard behind a stable quarterback that you don't have to do anything other than just, hey, talk to him, help him see some things differently or whatever from time to time. Not a bad job. Doug Hooker played enough to entice New York. I say if Brand has a backup in mind, maybe one he could even trade for, we have a lot to sell. There we go. That's an idea. Jason Kurt Steele, what up, though? Trumps, how about Trumps for moderator, the freedom of speech? You got to have a YouTube channel in order to do it. And yeah, you got to watch what you say, too, as a moderator as well. So there's that aspect, too. Let's see, Bo, Coach has thrown a few monkey wrenches in the chat. Yes, sir. I see what you did there, Bo. Giovanni Lyons, woo! What a realistic trade. Do I think it's realistic? No. And again, the only reason why I'm giving it credence is because you have so many New York outlets that have brought it up, and prominent reporters, not just guys on the sidelines. And then you've had some Detroit media personalities also dive into it or piggyback off the New York media. So is there something to it? I mean, I don't know. The original, we're not trading Hook right now unless it's for an X receiver. I'm down with that. Kurt, what do you got? Hooker is not going anywhere right now. I agree with that. Phil, why play Hooker for the entire game unless you're featuring him? You could say if you're a coach for developmental reasons, but it could also be to feature him. So there's that side of it as well. Don, Craig Reynolds is the trade candidate, not Hooker. He could be. Let's see, Jason Bo Booth, let's not monkey around, Superdome or bust. I agree with that. Anthony, good morning, Duke Crew, back at you. Miles, no politics. Mr. Nico, good morning, Coach and crew. The chat is on fire. 200 plus people in the chat. Lions Talk Live is fire. Yeah, we've got over 600 people watching on all platforms. I've been surprised this week. We've had a couple days where we got near 800 people watching live. So, and that's not just on YouTube, that's on everything. But you know what is coming up? The start of the season. So that makes sense, right? I'd see John, I'd see Bo, Jason Barry laughing. Anthony, good morning, Brother Steele. Bo, Kilt of Destiny. Yeah, I'm going to have to get one of those. JDC, there you go. Jason Barry throwing a wrench in the mix. All right. Don, why play Hooker the whole game? Question mark. Because the kid needs reps, and more reps. He's sat for basically 2 years. This is also an accurate portion of the argument, too, that he needs time to gel, get back into the flow of things. Kurt Steele, hey, you and Phil are here mods? Yeah, I made about 8 people mods, just so you guys know. Let's see, Hookadoo, Anthony is in the house this morning, bro. Yeah, there he is. Anthony, morning, brother Hookadoo. Phil, Hooker is too old to wait 4 years to start. Maybe, we'll see. John, hey, Troy, you look like you could be Goff's sister. Could be. Hookadoo, how many of the Duke Crew are going to the game today? That's a good question. No pansy, says Trump. Lions bad guy. What? John can't wait that we can't have Trump's a genius. All right. Jason, JDC, wrench plus Tree of Destiny. Let's go Lions. You know, hey, maybe make that happen. Michael, famous words from Ted DiBiase. Everyone's got a price. The $1 Million Man quote. Yeah, I love that quote. Everybody's got a price. JDC, tick, tick, Tree of Destiny. Broski, it's a double-edged sword. Playing Hooker showcases him and could drive his value up if he plays well. Could also get him injured and decrease his value. This is also true. It's a part of sports, my friend. Part of sports, but good point. Trumps, can you imagine being dumb enough to do the same dumb thing twice? Get hurt twice? Yes, 100%. 100%. Phil, let's see. If a team doesn't pick up Tannehill, he may be willing to. Some good competition at quarterback would not be a bad thing. Yeah, 100% there. Yeah, and that's where I think ultimately Tannehill is going to have to make some choices. See, Brent, good morning, Duke Crew. No less than second round for Hooker. Oh, yeah. And we will see if that comes to fruition. Trump, good morning, Buru. All right. Villain Squad, if they get a receiver from the Giants, they should get Slayton, big body receiver, and 5th round pick for Hooker. You know, Slayton's name has been all over this chat this morning. Kurt Steele, Darius Slayton is the wide receiver coach is thinking about. Yeah, thank you for that. Charles X, I don't see them trading it. Oops, there went something. My watch, apparently. There goes Hooker, unless the receiver compensation that helps us this year. Yeah, 100%. Chris Steele, call me the maintenance man. We will call you that then. Let's see. Motown teams can protect 4 guys every week. Yes, correct. A creative idea, Houston plus Hooker for Crosby. I think you probably need a whole lot more than that. But, you know, one never knows, I guess. Let's see. Don, playing Hooker is the only option. Doesn't have enough tape for us another team. Yeah, the only reason why I think New York media is all over it is because they were able to watch him live at the joint practices, etc. for that week. See, Charles X, I don't see them trading Hendon Hooker unless we receive compensation that helps us this year. I agree, 1,000%. Lions, bad guy. What the heck did I wake up to? We're trading Hooker? No. Nobody's saying that's going to happen. We're saying that New York media is all over it, and there have been some Detroit media outlets saying it is a possibility. How did this rumor start? You've been hanging without a micro mic for the 7th grade girl rumor bathroom. Is like I just said, guy. Again, bad guy. I don't know where you came in, but New York media is on it, and some Detroit media like Woodward Sports, among others, have been reporting it as well. See, Broski, there's a rumor the Lions hope the Panthers cut undrafted rookie Jake Plummer. Could be. Let's see, Miles Margaret, Brad Holmes. Yes, typo. There you go. Don, Hendon Houston Hooker for Crosby type of comments make me think people start drinking early. There could be a lot of truth to that. What downright ridiculous. Would trade Houston Hooker for Hutchinson. Shake my head. Jason, Kurt, the Honolulu Blue maintenance man of steel. Now that's a long name, and woo! Let's see, Bo, Goff's lady looks like my twin niece. Not kidding. Hey, his lady is noticeable. Broski, good morning, Trumps. Mojo, protect 4 guys on practice squad. Yes, they can. Kurt Steele, Jason Berry laughing. Doug, oh yeah. Remember those reports of Hutchinson injury? Brad doesn't let anybody know anything. We will know when it happens. 100%. While I would say Brad doesn't, MCDC does though, Doug. He's pretty upfront with all that when it comes to injuries. He doesn't hold too many things in. Although, with that being said, you are right that they didn't reveal anything about St. Brown's injury, his oblique injury. Dale laughing out loud, broski. Michael, the Vikings are relying on their backup quarterback for now, seeing how McCarthy is done for the season. The only good thing for the Vikings is Sam Darnold is a veteran now. He's seen a lot of things, but he's also not been good enough to stay with any team either. Broski, good morning, Kurt. Patrick, if they trade Hooker, it won't be until next year, after he develops over this year and next year's preseason. That could be. Dale, nice Jake Plummer reference. There you go. Don, Kurt, and Phil getting a lot of love this morning. Wonder why. Okay. Terrence Sudfield, the Lions want win a game with him. Yeah, they won't win a game with him 100%. 100%. Chuck E. Cheese, good morning. Coach and Duke Crew, back at you. Phil, will Ford Field survive the season? ? Fans rock that place. They do. Dale, Kurt Steele, how the heck have you been? Kurt Steele, Broski Bear, what up, though? Lions fan, bad guy. Yo, Kurt, how's your Saturday morning, man? Hookadoo, the maintenance crew will have to tighten the bolts after every game. They probably will. Don, Mike Tomlin said Pittsburgh will start their starters. Let them do what they're going to do. See, Anthony, laughing out loud, Broski, sucking up the wrench is his enemy. Yes, the wrench is his enemy. Let's see, Don Anthony Broski is on his best behavior. It's hilarious. Jason, do you think our timing is a bit risky to do this now with Hooker? Our season starts in a week. Learning the system takes time. Yeah, if they do it, they've got to have pretty good confidence in somebody else, I would say. It can't be Nate Sudfield. Good question, though, Jason. Lions bad guy. So I woke up late, and I'm catching this late. In all honesty, where did you get this? Hear about this Hooker? So just because I know you're behind me a little bit in the comments, again, it's coming from New York media. I've already mentioned the reporter's name a couple times, at least the lead reporter on it, and then Woodward Sports. There's a couple other spots in Detroit media reporting it as well. See, Anthony, Don, 100% agree. There you go, thumbing up. JDC, hey, if you're a wrench guy, could you fix the entry door? It squeaks. There you go. Trumps, you just ruined your channel with mods. Laughing out loud. We were handling things fine yourself. For the record, I'm a supporter of free speech. Yeah, that works for me. It's just, hey, as you guys all know, if you watch this show for a while, every once in a while we get somebody in there that, hey, just can't control themselves. So you got to put them in timeout or whatever. This just helps out with that. All right, Anthony, whoever has that wrench fix skippers, woo! Let's see what they do. Buddy, exactly. Jason, off the top. About time he's able to play when he's over 30. I say if we can get a good pick, give us Neighbors. I'll take it. Yeah, I don't see us giving us Neighbors, but man, if they would do that, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Dale, I'm interested in will James Houston play, because there's a lot of talk about him being cut on other channels. I guess we'll have to wait and see what shakes out today, man. I hope it doesn't happen for Houston, obviously, because I'm selfish and I like the guy, but it could happen. Kurt Steele, Dale, good, doing good, back and doing content. Good to hear that. Off the top, I'll take Neighbors a first rounder for Hooker. Let's make that happen. Turner, love your show. Woo! Thanks for that, Turner, and thank you very much. Dale, Kurt, that's great. There you go. Trumps, I think Houston would be traded before they cut him. That's also probably true, Trumps. I agree. Gary, free speech and free to block gentlemen. There, all right? Number, so a team will trade a first-round pick like Neighbors for Houston, barely holding here, laughing out loud these comments, man. Yeah, I think most of it's just meant in jokes there, Don. I don't think anybody's being serious, but hey, if it happens, it happens. Howdy, see, Mike the Marine, Gunny, howdy, Dan and Duke Crew, woo, back at you. Just a couple more minutes here, and then I got to get out of here. I did not anticipate going an hour. Gary, keep Hooker. I agree. JDC says, Broski, you're hilarious this morning. Don, a Hooker. Yes, or Hooker. A Vape, great to finally make it live for a live show. There you go. Hey, glad you were able to make it on in, Vapor. JDC, good puff. Man, we got a comment section going here today, guys. Anthony, any day got to listen to Broski and his fake account. Ban you both, problem solved. Yeah, now, yes, correct. Get rid of the fake Broski. Leonard, guys, Hooker looks real good. Imagine that new Hooker dimension to the offense. Yeah, and that's why I don't think they're going to do anything with it. But again, if somebody's going to overpay, you probably at least got to consider it. JDC, make the real broski a wrench guy. That's a interesting thought. Don, teams still want to test their starters against us. The last preseason game, yep, we made it. Yeah, we made it, and I'm just okay with us keeping our guys on the sideline. There's like I said, there's probably 30 or 40 guys from the Lions team that have no shot at getting on the field. They're going to keep them as safe as possible. In my opinion, at least, if you're out there today for the Lions, unless you're a rookie trying to develop, that might be a worry sign. Hetman, JDC, puff, pass. There you go. Phil, been watching Bo plan. He's playing well. Yeah, I've liked him. I've liked his addition. Broski, great idea. JDC, Bo, gotta love the Bo plan, man, 100%. Anthony, be last day for me on the channel if Broski became a wrench. There you go. Don, make Broski a rival team fan, a wrench guy. You will lose subscribers. I'm one. There. All right, fair enough. Be nice, guys, 100%. Gary, on Hooker, trust Holmes' judgment. Yeah, and that's ultimately where I'm at with it. If they were to trade him, which I don't think they're gonna, but if they do, I'm gonna trust that Brad Holmes has a pretty good plan set up for this. Anthony, he'd have me out of here. There you go, buddy. Woo! There you go. Anthony, agreed. Don, William, what time is the game on? 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm 3 hours behind you. 1 o'clock Eastern. So, Iceman, do not know that the 49ers offensive line were ranked number 24 last season. They have a few starters on that line hurt, and Trent is still out. It's not looking good for Purdy right now. Hey, Purdy might go down. He might go down hard. Let's see, Broski, Anthony, you need to stick around and to make sure you pay when you lose your bets with me. There you go. Chuck W. Suds is far from great, but not much better than anyone here has ever played against. Let's have him hold a clipboard, help the starter, and show a little respect. All right. Anthony, 1 p.m. Go Lions, says JDC. Anthony, I'm not going anywhere. Broski, when I'm a mod, you don't block anyone unless they're a spammer. The owner of the channel tells me to. I'm actually a lieutenant mod. There you go. JDC, Hooker is here for good. I would agree, so I don't think he's leaving. See, William, Anthony, thanks. 10 a.m. here. Enjoy it, man. Have a good morning. Don, Broski, you ever become a mod? I will never frequent this channel again. Bo, by the way, Anthony, my Uncle Joe was in the Screaming Eagles during WW2. There you go. Reality Mike, good morning. Good morning, Mike. How you doing down in Florida? Let's see, JDC, Anthony, I'm ain't budging either. Lions Talk Live, Bo Booth, the World War II, and jumping into Normandy. True. Let's see, Walt, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Woo! Ken, and good morning to you too, Walt, by the way. Ken, good morning, Coach and crew. Let's have a little Sandy here. This staff pays the best at each position. Plays the best at each position. Hooker develops and becomes better than Goff. Why would you trade him now? Yeah, I don't think they're going to trade him, but I'm going to pass it on. So it's the information at least. Oh, Vape, what do you got? Brad only drafts weapons. Hooker stays. Woo! I'll go with that. Reality Mike, I need to play football. 2.5 sounds good. There you go. 2.5 is not a bad payday. Million. Let's see. Ken, talk to text is a killer, but necessary when driving. Yes. And I'm surprised you can get the talk to text to work on here, but you're doing a good job with it, man. Moonscar, Broski Bear, Hookadoo, up early hunting today. Smaller bears have smaller paws. This is also true. Walt, hit that like button for Dan and the Duke Crew. Woo! Yes, if you haven't yet subscribed or hit the like, please consider doing so. Ed, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. A lot of guys are saying I've been saying about Hooker, trade him. And they might, man. They might. JDC, Detroit Lions, rebuilding since 1957. Stay tuned to Coach Dan and Lions Talk Live for more updates. Go Lions. Thank you for that plug there. Bo, happy trails to you all. Undone Dusted. See y'all tomorrow. See you then. Zoom, what do you got? Good morning, sir. Woo! Good morning to you, too. And I love the Batman symbol. See, Reality Mike, take that job. I'll take that job. Yes, we would take that job. Ed, trade Hooker for his own career. He needs to play now, and that might happen. Rareview, why would we trade him? I think the only way we would trade him is if it was a deal that just made total sense to the Lions. Otherwise, I don't see it happening. See, I hope you didn't think that was funny. No, it happens, man. You guys are honestly lost. No, and again, review, as I'm sure you've already seen by now, this is not my reporting it. This is coming from New York media, Woodward Sports here in Detroit, and a few other Detroit-based content creators. So I'm passing on what that national media is saying over in New York and in Detroit. So, Ed, let's see. Today will be 2. Okay. Zoom. Today will be a big day for Lions who are looking for jobs. That's also true. Fields. Heck no. I'm agreeing with you. Don't do it. See, creative idea. Brad loves his picks. No chance Hooker is traded. Yeah, I think it would take a king's ransom to make it happen. See, Ed, today we'll be able to show Hooker off to interested teams. That could also be true. JDC Don Burr, I sure do. Phil, hit the like, please. All right, guys, I think I've gone through about as much as I can. I gave you an extra, half hour than I was anticipating. See if there's anybody new in here. See, Jess, it would be good to take. It would take a good deal. Slayton in a third or fourth, but if they wouldn't give close, then walk away, a great player. Yeah, I don't think it would really, really have to be a good deal for us. Jesse, people don't realize the backup helps a lot with game prep and film breakdown. That's also very true, Jess. Very, very true. That's where Suds might be good. Okay, yeah, I think Suds is going to be on the team as the third. Buddy, good show, Coach. Thanks for that. I'd say the Trim Reaper, the good morning, Coach and crew. We need to keep Hooker, in my humble opinion. Let's go, Lions. Woo! Yes, I agree. I would be all for keeping him. I'd say Trim Reaper, smash that like and subscribe button, everyone. Oh, yeah, and thank you for that. Reality Mike, woo! There you go. Anybody else new in here? Let's see, survey. Brent, Happy Trails, One Pride, same to you. Adam, I remember you going to Lions games back in the day, and the announcer would scream, the crowd's going wild. He's going wild. Man, that sounds like some old school WWE, but yes, you are true. Ken, what do you got? Please, no more Sudfield as a player. Make him a coach or a mascot. They might just do that. See, Douglas, what do you got? Hooker can't see open receivers quickly. Dump him for a pick and no one other than backups. Fair enough. Randy Q, they him bad 100%. Paul, clickbait. No, Paul, as I'm sure you've already heard in the show, you can see it. New York media is reporting interest in Hendon Hooker. New York media, not me. Woodward Sports, not me, has also reported this. So it's not clickbait. Like I said, we're repeating what other national media providers have reported. See, Ranting Q, greetings and salutations. Drew Crew, back at you. All right, guys, I really got to get out of here. So if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Also, if you would be so kind before you check on out today, hit that thumbs up button, that like button, etc. If there is some sort of breaking news later today, I'll get it over to you. Otherwise, kick back, relax. See you guys all at 1 o'clock. And hope you all have a great day. We'll see you all on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Happy trail.